So my research discusses the desertification and land cover change in Kafr city in Egypt. Let's start. Actually, the desertification has affected the human nutrition and also caused land degradation and also caused the climate change. So desertification is one of the most important problems that must be solved because the climate change will affect everything on our earth. Also, it affected the human nutrition and caused land degradation, also caused a decrease in the biodiversity. So the lack of food, the decrease in vegetation cover, also the decrease in biodiversity and the climate change are all the consequences of desertification. This problem is a serious problem and must be solved. Kafr Sheikh city in Egypt. Why I have chosen Kafr Sheikh city to discuss the problem? Actually, I'm from Egypt, so I know that Egypt is one of the most important agricultural regions in the Africa and also in the Middle East. So if Egypt is affected by desertification, it will affect all the region. Kafr Sheikh is one of the most important places in Egypt, and also it has a great economic interest and importance. So Kafr Sheikh, if it's affected by desertification, it will affect all the region, not only Kafr Sheikh. So in this research, we tried to make analysis and we collected all data related to the land cover in Kafr Sheikh, and also we were able to detect the exact reason of that. Kafr Sheikh Governorate, located in the north part of Arab Republic of Egypt. Its area is about 3,466 kilometers squared. It represents 28% of Delta region. Kafr Sheikh produces 30% of rice production in Egypt and also produces 20% of cotton production, so it has a great economic importance. The method. We have used the geographic information system to collect all the data related to Kafr Sheikh region, as we are sought to use the technology to solve the problem of desertification by using the geographic information system and remote sensing. We have collected the data using NDVI and MODIS, and we were able to make a detailed description of the land cover of Kafr Sheikh, and by this description, we were able to detect the problem and the reason of the desertification in Kafr Sheikh. Here is a graph that represents what is happening in Kafr Sheikh. So as we can see here, the land cover of vegetation is decreasing while the urban is increasing. This graph is more specified as it shows the built-up development in Kafr Sheikh. It increased by 18.8 kilometers squared from 2010 to 2020, or about 15%. So this increase affected the vegetation cover, also caused land degradation and the desertification of some of the agricultural soil. So finally, the desertification is one of the most serious issues that faces the environment and also faces the human, because it affects the human nutrition. And from these examples, that what is happening in Kafr Sheikh is the savanna plant. Savanna plant is a plant that can exist in droughts, but the savanna in Kafr Sheikh in 2010 was only 9% of the land. But in 2020, it became only 6% of the land cover in Kafr Sheikh. And the savanna, as I have said, that it can afford any drought. Its decrease is a proof that the urban expansion is the real reason of what is happening in Kafr Sheikh from desertification and land degradation. Climate change, soil erosion, and desertification are all consequences of irresponsible human behavior. So we want to make the problem a part of the solution. The human has used the technology and used the natural resources in order to develop the technology. So the technology is a solution, and at the same time, it's a problem. So we will use that problem in the solution and always support Go Green. Thank you. I'm so happy that I have presented to you. Also, I want to say that my experience with the mentor was amazing. He understood what I actually need to do. I wrote at first my applications that I want to make a research that connects between the technology and the environment. and we were able to make all the data required by ecologists to understand the land cover in Kafr Sheikh to solve the problem of desertification. It was amazing to work with my mentor, and also thanks you, Talaria, for giving me the chance to be here.